Hi everyone, I'm going to do some Yin Yoga tonight. And again, with Yin, it's always really helpful to have some music playing. I don't have any, so I can put this out on YouTube and other places. But anything on Pandora that is relaxing music, spa music, yoga nidra music, if you can find Yin Yoga music on Spotify as well, those are what are typically recommended for kind of just having something playing while you're holding these poses for 3 to 5 minutes. So today we're going to go ahead and get started in a comfortable seat. Know you can always have a block or blanket underneath you, bringing hands down either on knees or in front, softening and closing those eyes, allowing those shoulders to drop from the ears, trying to keep that spine as straight as possible. And just beginning to check in with that mind, body, and heart. Seeing what sensations you're bringing with you on the mat tonight. What thoughts are with you, are in your head. What emotions are coming up? Placing no judgment on these, just beginning to become aware. We race through our days and are so busy. Sometimes I think we're even busier now than before we had to stay at home. Giving yourself this time, this hour to check in, to see how you truly feel. And beginning to focus on that breath. Inhaling deeply, exhaling slowly, filling the lungs up with air. Allowing that chest and belly to rise as you inhale. Allowing the belly to fall back into the spine as you exhale. And allowing that chin to drop the chest, sending the breath to the back of that neck. And then bringing that head back to center, allowing right ear to fall over right shoulder. Breathing into the left side of that neck. Taking a breath in. Exhale, head over heart, taking left ear to left shoulder. Breathing here. Taking another breath in, exhaling head, chin to chest, and then inhaling the head back. Allowing these full circle, exhaling head over heart, taking right ear over right shoulder, inhaling head back, left ear to left shoulder, and just doing maybe 2 more in this direction. And then adding a few in the opposite direction. Again, exhaling over heart, inhaling head back. 1 more here. And then coming to center. We're going to do a pranayama, breathing exercise, or box breath. So we're just going to, I'll count it off. We're going to inhale and exhale through the nose. It'll be a count of 4 in, hold for 4, count of 4, exhale, hold for 4. And we'll just start by taking a normal breath in and out. And then inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold. Inhale, last round, 3, 4, hold. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold. Come back to your normal breath. And from here, we're going to extend legs out long in front of us, crossing right ankle over the left, maybe having a slight bend in that right knee. Taking a deep breath in, and then exhale, holding over those legs. Getting a stretch for that sciatic nerve here, working into that IT band. And as you continue to check in with that mind, body, and heart, beginning to think of an intention for your practice this hour. Maybe it's something you're looking to find. Maybe it's something you're looking to release. Knowing no matter what it is, whatever is needed will come to you. And keeping that intention in mind, taking a deep breath in. Exhale, release it. Sending the breath to where you need it. Maybe it's along the back of that left leg. Maybe it's all the way up into the back of that left glute. Breathing here. Seeing if you can bring awareness by focusing on the breath in and holding that awareness all the way until you exhale it out entirely. Just another moment here. Can you lower those shoulders? Continue to look within, knowing our true selves exist, whether we acknowledge them or not. And reading a meditation by Madison Taylor, she talks about how our true selves are often buried under a learned behavior. Taking 2 more breaths right here. And then slowly starting to come up, uncrossing those legs. Shaking it out. And then bringing the bottoms of the soles to meet each other. Knowing the closer your feet are, the more you're going to feel this in your hips. The wider your feet are apart, or the farther your feet are apart, the looser it's going to be. So finding where your edge is, never going past. Allowing those knees to fall to the sides, taking a deep breath in. And then exhale, hinge at the hips, and then fold forward. And as we look within and look for that true self, know that it can be hard. We've got lots of layers to peel back. Lots of versions of us that we've picked up over the years. Just starting. Check in with that. You're halfway there. Keep breathing. Filling those lungs up with air as you inhale deeply and exhale slowly, sending the breath to these inner thighs or wherever you feel it. Just another moment here. Is there anything you can soften, anything you can release? Maybe sending the breath to that low back. Taking just 2 more breaths right here in this cobbler's pose. And then slowly starting to come back up. Bringing the bottoms of the soles to the mat, heel toeing them out, mat width distance apart, bringing the knees together. Getting a counter stretch here for just a few breaths. And then when ready, heel toeing those legs back together, extending legs out long, and balancing out that sciatic stretch now. Crossing left ankle over right, possibly getting a soft bend in that left knee. Taking a deep breath in. And then exhale, fold forward. Making sure that right foot is flexed. Sending the breath to the back of that right leg into the glute. Releasing the sciatic nerve on this side. And Madison Taylor continued on to say that identity is an elusive concept. We feel we must define ourselves using a relatively small selection of roles and character traits. Even if none accurately represents our notion of self. So often are we comparing ourselves and trying to define ourselves to what we see on social media or with certain groups that we associate with. I'm thinking if we take that on, that's who we really are. Seeing now if we can let some of that go. Just another moment here. Where can you soften? Lower those shoulders. You continue to focus on that breath. Just half a moment left. Taking 2 more breaths right here. And then slowly starting to come up, uncrossing those ankles, shaking that out. And swinging legs back behind us, coming into a tabletop position. So wrists beneath shoulders, knees beneath hips. We're just going to do a couple cat-cow stretches here. So exhaling, arching that back. Inhaling, allowing the belly to fall, chest and head dry. Exhale, arch the back. Inhale, belly falls, chest and heart dry. Exhale, arch. Inhale, head and heart forward. Doing one more to your own breath. And then meeting up in that neutral spine, that tabletop position. Tucking the toes, raising the hips, coming up to down dog. Maybe walking it out just a couple of times, lifting one heel after another. And then from here, raising that right leg, point the toes, flex the foot, add a circle in each direction. And then bringing that right knee to the inside of that right wrist. Bringing that left knee down, setting up for our pigeon pose, making sure that that right foot is aiming out to the left. So we never want it pointing behind us, just for safety for the knee. Knowing you can always add blankets underneath the hip for added support, or you can always come into that deer pose by bringing that left side forward. Once finding your edge, taking a breath in, and then exhale, walk it forward. Breathing into your pigeon pose, making it your own. Knowing that we can begin to check in with our true self right here and what our body needs. And one of the bonuses of the virtual yoga is we're not comparing ourselves to our neighbor right now. We get to truly listen to our body and allow that ego to pass, telling us we need to be as far as somebody else. We only need to be as far as where our body needs to go. Breathing here. Beginning to let any confusion of who we truly are pass. Knowing if that mind starts to wander too much, always coming back to that breath. Allowing that belly to expand as you inhale deeply. Allowing it to contract as you exhale slowly. Sending the breath to where you feel this the most physically. Maybe it is in the hip. Maybe it's in your back. Knowing we're all built differently. Seeing if you can soften those shoulders and bring them away from the ear. Reconnecting with you. Half a moment left. Breathing here. Taking 2 more deep breaths. And bringing that head up. Pushing into the mat with those hands, tucking those back left toes and taking that right leg to the sky. Kicking it out, doing whatever is needed, then bringing that foot down, back into down dog, moving blocks, blankets, pillows out of the way. And when ready, inhaling that left leg up to the ceiling, point the toe, flex the foot, add a circle in each direction. And then bringing that left knee inside that left wrist. This time, the bottom of the left foot is pointing out to the right again, making sure that knee is safe. Seeing if you need to add any props here for those hips. Knowing you can always bring that right thigh forward, coming back into that deer pose. Finding your pigeon or deer. Then when ready, taking a deep breath in. Exhale, fold forward. Finding that breath again. Finding that ease where you can. Lowering those shoulders from the ears. Breathing here. Knowing that we have a light within us. Light that guides us back to our true self. But sometimes comes up when we have these sparks of joy. And just checking back in with that right now. You're halfway there. You can do this. Keep breathing. Anything you can soften. Just a moment left here. Knowing that often when we work into these hips, some of our deep emotions start to be released. Just observing if anything is coming up for you right now. Allow it to. Acknowledge it. Let it pass. But allow it to release. Less than half a moment left here. Taking one more breath. And then coming back up, pushing hands into the mat, tucking those right toes, lifting that left leg, kicking it out, doing whatever is needed. Coming back to that down dog, and then coming down to that tabletop position again. So knees underneath hips, wrists under shoulders. And from here, we're going to inhale that right arm up to the ceiling. Exhale, weave it, spread it under, but don't land it. Inhale that right arm up. Exhale, thread it through underneath that left. This time, land the right shoulder, land the right temple. And see what you want to do with that left hand. Maybe it's staying grounded. Maybe it's coming alongside the back. Maybe it's even bending. You know, you can always keep it out in front and maybe walk it out to the right side of the mat. So many options here. Check in with what feels best for you. If that arm is bent, that left arm is bent behind you, knowing that you can always bring that right hand up to the left shoulder, seeing if you can work towards a bind of those two hands. Just checking in, find your edge, don't go past. If it starts to hurt, come out. We never want pain in our yoga. Breathing here. Seeing if there's anything you can soften. Continuing to check in with yourself, with your true, authentic self. And see what comes up when you even say those words in your head. We're more than halfway there. Keep breathing. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling slowly. If the mind starts to wander into lists or anything else, coming back to this pose, to these sensations. Giving yourself this time on the mat. Let go of all the worry, all the anxieties, all the uncertainty. Just be here, be now. Be with yourself. One more breath, right here. And then bringing that left hand back down, push into the mat or ground, and inhale that right arm back up to the ceiling. Bringing the right hand down, back into that tabletop position. This time, inhale the left arm up. Exhale, thread it through, but don't land. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, thread it through, this time landing, left shoulder, left temple, and seeing what you need to do with the right hand this time, that right arm. Maybe it's the same that you did on the left side. Maybe it's different, knowing we're built differently, even on each side. Checking in to see what you need right now. Maybe seeing if you want to try something a little farther on the side. Maybe allowing the arm to fall back. Maybe bending that left arm or the hand to reach the shoulder. Just checking in to see your edge. Knowing you're never stuck. You go someplace and you want to move, you can. Continuing to breathe here. When we recognize our power, our luminosity, our divinity, Madison Taylor says we cannot help but live authentic lives of appreciation, potential, fulfillment, and grace. Less than a moment left here. Is there anything you can soften? Maybe it's just your eyes and letting them close. Continuing to focus on the breath here. One more breath. And then bringing that right hand down, pushing into the mat. Inhaling that left arm up to the ceiling. Bringing it back down to the mat. Swinging legs forward. We're going to have that right leg parallel to the mat. Bringing that left thigh to meet the bottom of that right foot. And we're going to start walking it back, knowing we can use a blanket or a pillow to support our back. Making sure that both knees stay grounded. If they start to come up a little bit more. Knowing we can also always turn out to the right or that left thigh. As we work into our half hero pose here. Breathing in to that left quadricep. Going wherever is our edge in this pose. And being careful with it, making sure those knees stay grounded for their safety. Giving ourselves this release in these thighs. Giving ourselves this time to continue to look within. You're halfway there. Deep breathing. When you're not stuck, you can always come up a little bit in this pose. And throughout our childhood, our thoughts and feelings were more likely expressions of our true self. We may have learned how to speak and act and gain others' approval. We understood we were no ordinary beings. So maybe even thinking back to what brought us joy as a child. Trying to reconnect with our inner self through that joy. One more breath right here. And then slowly coming back up. Bringing those legs out in front, shaking that out. Before balancing that out, so we're going to take those legs wide. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale, begin to walk it and fold forward. Knowing you can always bring hands behind you to push yourself forward. Or come to a block or blanket to sit on. Breathing here. Getting another stretch for those hamstrings, for that low back. Coming back to that breath. Sending it to where you need it most, whether it's those hamstrings, whether it's that back. Seeing if you can drop those shoulders from those ears. And then look within again. Coming back to what brought you joy as a child. And then looking at that joy, thinking of your feelings before you started wearing so many hats. Before you started to take on what you thought was needed or best instead of what you felt was best for you. Half a moment left here. Giving yourself 2 more breaths. And then slowly walking those hands back up, bringing those legs back in front of you, shaking it out, doing what's ever needed, removing any blocks, blankets, pillows that may have been underneath you. And this time taking that left leg parallel to the mat. Bringing that right thigh to the bottom of the left sole. And getting ready to set up for that half hero on this side. Slowly starting to walk those hands back. Knowing again to keep those knees grounded. You can always turn and look out to the left to feel that stretch in that right quadricep. You don't always have to go all the way back. Breathing here, going only to your edge, ensuring the safety of those knees. What can you soften? Checking in to see where you're feeling this the most. Is it that quadricep? Can you send the breath to where you need it? Can you begin to connect back with your authentic self? Back with your feelings. Back with that truth that lies within you. Just another moment here. Knowing you're never stuck. You can always come forward in this. Sending the breath to where you need it. The mind starts to wander too much, as it usually does, always coming back to that breath. Inhaling deeply, exhaling slowly, continuing to fill these lungs with the breath. Taking 2 more deep breaths right here. And then slowly starting to come back up, bringing both feet in front of you, about hips width distance apart, and swishing those knees from side to side like wiper blades. Getting a little release here. And then bringing legs long out in front of us. Having a little space in between them, bending those knees. And then wrapping those arms underneath those thighs, slowly allowing those legs to come down, knowing they're not going to come all the way down to the mat. Breathing here, allowing that belly to come as close to the thighs as possible, sending the breath to this low back, inner caterpillar pose. Allowing those shoulders to soften as much as they can. Knowing that through meditation and our yoga, we are helping reconnect with our inner self, with that true, authentic self. By being present, on our mats, staying in the moment, clearing away those worries, those anxieties, all of those should. Getting back to how we truly feel. What brings us joy? What do we truly need for ourselves? Halfway there. And if the mind starts to wander off too much, coming back to that breath. Just a moment left here. Is there anything you can soften in those shoulders, in those eyes, in your head, in your heart? Continuing to breathe. Only half a moment left here. One more breath. And slowly begin to release those arms, coming back up. Taking those hands behind and pointing the toes and allowing that head to fall back. For a brief counter stretch right here. And then planting those feet on the mat, hugging onto those thighs, slowly coming down, extending legs out long. Inhaling that right knee to the chest and just holding, hugging onto it, onto that shin for just a breath. And then holding on to the outside of that right knee with the left arm, extending that right arm out almost like a T. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale, taking that right leg out to the left. Seeing if you can continue to ground that right shoulder. Head can stay centered or look out to the right. Breathing here in our single leg twist. Getting this massage for our internal organs. Allowing the spine what it needs. Continuing to look within for that authentic self. Knowing that when we go within, we're reminded of the special role we're meant to play in this lifetime. When we continue to look for what has brought us joy, what continues to bring us joy, what brought us joy as a child. We're able to come back to that purpose. One more minute here. Keep breathing. Giving yourself 2 more deep breaths. And then bringing that right knee back up. Extending it long, shaking it out. This time, extending that left arm out long like a T. Bringing that left knee up to the chest. Holding it on onto it with that right hand. Taking that right hand outside of the left knee. Taking a deep breath in. And then exhale, taking that left knee out to the right. Seeing if you can round that left shoulder a little bit more. Head can stay centered or look out to the left. Breathing here. Not only getting a twist, but also getting another stretch into those glutes. Knowing that in order to realize your purpose, you must embrace your true self. Let your light shine no matter the situation. You don't need to be who you think others want you to be. It's best to be yourself. Continuing to breathe right here. You're halfway there. Is there anything else you can soften in this last pose? In our final twist, as you continue to breathe here, less than a moment left. And one of my favorite quotes from Brené Brown talks about your true self and our authenticity. And she says, authenticity is the daily practice of letting go of who we think we're supposed to be and instead embracing who we are. Taking 2 more breaths right here, embracing yourself fully. And then bringing that left knee back up, extending it long on that mat, shaking it out. Extending legs wide on the mat, allowing feet to pop out to the side. Arms come a few inches away from the body, palms facing up to the ceiling as we begin to set up for our final relaxation, our Shavasana. We begin to release into this mat to fully ground, releasing from toes to crown. We release through these toes and the spaces between them. Through the tops and bottoms of these feet. Through these ankles, shins, and calves. We release through all parts of these knees. We release through quadriceps, hamstrings, and all parts of these thighs. We release through the glutes, hips, and pelvic bone, allowing this lower body to sink deeper into the mat. We release through the abdomen and back, the low back, mid back, and upper back are cradled here in this mat. We release through the chest, lungs, and heart, relaxing all parts of these hands. We release through the fingers and webbing between them, through the taps and palms of these hands. We release through the wrists and forearms, relaxing all parts of our elbows. We release through the upper arms and shoulders, relaxing this neck and head. We release all facial muscles. The tongue falls to the bottom of the mouth, lips part slightly, and cheeks hollow. We release through the forehead and scalp, allowing this whole body to be grounded and cradled in this mat. We release from roots to crown. We surrender. Gently allowing this body to awaken, keeping eyes closed, we begin to wiggle fingertips and toes. We begin to turn ankles and wrists, gently allowing the head to rock from side to side. And then bringing feet together and knees to chest, hugging the knees in, adding a rock on that back. And when ready, rocking over to a fetal position on the right side, using arms as pillows. Checking in one more time this hour with that mind, body, and heart. Checking back in with that intention you set at the beginning of practice. And checking in with your authentic self. Then when ready, keeping eyes closed, pushing into the floor, making your way to a comfortable seated position, bringing hands to prayer pose at heart center. Finding one more thing you can release this hour. And keeping that in mind, taking a deep breath in, exhale, sigh it away. Thank you, everyone, for allowing me to guide you in your yoga practice tonight. Wishing you the courage to be yourself. And the light shining from me reflects the light shining from each and every one of you. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.